Best of R slash confessions episode 8. Subscribe for Reddit videos daily. Just need to get this off my chest. 35F. I don't want a partner, sexual or romantic, for the sake of having a partner. I've never been that person. I've never needed someone. I've never needed that validation like so many of the girls I grew up with. My situation has always felt complicated and I honestly have no idea how it is all meant to work or how I could even begin to try to squeeze someone into my life. It's full enough already. I'm too busy, too independent, too withdrawn, too commitment phobic. I like not having to compromise any more than work and family already forces me. I like my space. But every so often a person comes along and I want them. It's not about the wider concept or filling a void. It's that I could imagine this person being a good addition to my life. And at the end of the day, while I don't bet my entire self-worth on it, everyone wants to feel wanted. Everyone wants to feel loved. Everyone wants to feel desired. And sometimes I think I see that in people about me. But it's never true. It's never the case. And because I'm so terrified of the whole thing and being so vulnerable and finally letting that wall start to come down, and having to tell my family, I tend to gravitate towards completely off-limits men or the occasional straight girl. I set myself up for the fall. So I get to feel something and have a bit of the thrill of the chase, all the while knowing I'm safe. But then I end up like this, a complete mess over someone who has no idea what they've accidentally done to me or maybe actually knows but doesn't want to / can't reciprocate. And as each year passes, about to hit 36, without having had a first kiss or being sexually active, it gets harder and harder to open myself up because it feels more and more embarrassing. I'm not ashamed of it, but I feel like the other person is going to think I'm weird, or our baggage is going to be too far apart to be compatible. Usually I'm fine with it. Usually it's my choice and I'm even happy about it. But then there are nights like tonight, weeks like this where I feel like such an idiot. Thank you. Next. I hate people who think their music taste is better than yours. As the title says, I hate people who think that the music they listen to is better than what you listen to. I mean, of course there are bad songs, meaning that they are poorly executed and / or the instruments don't complement each other's playing, but it all comes down to everyone's liking. No song is better than the other and no one should think that they are more capable because they like a certain music genre. This came up from seeing YouTube comments on various songs saying that the genre they listen to is better than others, which is simply untrue. Thank you. Next. This is the story of the dancer. If hell exists, we get a premium pass after this. Enjoy. So, me and my best friend were in a local pub getting drunk beyond return. The next building is a club, loud music, people dancing etc etc. After a while, I want to get out of the pub to get some air in order to prepare myself to continue my quest in Alcoholand. My friend comes out too, both drunk out of our minds, electronic music playing in the background. Out of the blue, a guy comes out of the club with some very sick moves, man, doing the robot and other such quick and abrupt moves. So, as the pinnacles of human evolution that we are, we started dancing along, cheering and whistling at the guy to continue his amazing performance. Some seconds pass. Suddenly, he turns his face, look through our souls, and sits in his wheelchair. We freeze. Our stupid smiles turn to dust. The horror. The guy had several moving disabilities. We didn't know. We are sorry. Fun fact, I still see the guy around and he is the nicest person ever. We are going to hell for this. Thank you. Next. To the Australian doctor who wanted to help me during a suicide attempt while I was homeless. I lied to you. I'm sorry. I still think about you. Late May / early June of 2015. I was living homeless along the beach of Waikiki in Hawaii. I assume you were there on vacation. What you didn't know was that I had spent the previous night on a cocaine binge. The come down depression caught me good, and initiated a desperate suicide attempt. It would be my fourth one. At around 6 AM I walked into a drugstore and spent the last of my money, roughly $300, on at least 2 boxes and bottles of every over-the-counter drug I found, hoping for dangerous interactions or liver/kidney failure. I bought a soda to go with it. I went to the park and took all of it. 1,000 pills or more in total, chugging soda and swallowing fistfuls of pills. It took about 45 minutes to get it all down. I walked along the beach for as long as I could. My face started going numb. The ground wobbled. My hearing went silent. The sunrise came up and the light became a warped fractal pattern as my vision blurred. I vomited once into a nearby trash can and, to avoid hitting the ground suspiciously in public, dragged myself to the nearest bench to give myself a view of the gorgeous turquoise ocean as the last thing I see. It was the second bench, down near the police station. Maybe you remember? I put my backpack down beside me, used it like a pillow and faded into unconsciousness. That's where you found me. I can't be certain of the time, but judging by the heat it must have been in the afternoon. I had apparently been on the bench for hours. An obscene amount of people likely passed by me, but you knew something wasn't right. There were drugged out / sleeping homeless every few steps, but you recognized that my body was fighting and under attack. You're impeccably trained. I told you so in some way that I still can't understand. You shook me hard by the shoulders. In a strong Australian accent, through the overdose haze, I heard, "Sir, what's wrong? Are you alright?" This brought me back to consciousness just long enough to open my bleary eyes and see you there. A small, older woman. Short blonde hair with glasses. My vision was distorted like looking through a peephole and the blazing Hawaiian sunlight looked purple. But I will always remember your face. What? This was what I managed to mumble. Are you okay? I'm a doctor. How could this be? A doctor, out of all the random people to pass me by, at this very moment? Do guardian angels exist? I tried to make sense of this, but my brain was fried, swimming in poison. My ears rung with the force of 50 chapel bells. A doctor? Really? Yes, dear. I'm from Australia, but I promise I'm a doctor. You will never know the restraint that I put forth. I wanted to hug you. I wanted to scream I was high and took more than 1,000 pills. I'm sorry. Thank God for you. Instead, I lied. I simply slurred out thank you. I'm just tired. I want you to understand this was for 2 reasons. First, I couldn't risk being involuntarily hospitalized again half the world away from my home state where I'm not familiar with their laws / institutional conditions. Secondly, I was afraid of the guilt I'd suffer if I chickened out. I would hate myself if I voluntarily screwed yet another attempt after 3 others. I might have been so close to being free. I would have to stay the course and suffer the consequences. You still seemed hesitant to leave me, but you took my word that everything was in order. I settled back into a dark, oblivious slumber as I had not the capacity to stay awake. It wasn't until around 10:30 at night that I came around. I was still alive. I had been on that bench for 15 hours. I awoke, first noticing a pounding headache like none other, then noticing how my muscles refused to cooperate, how my digestive tract ached and felt like acid was poured through it, how my eyes were unable to focus. I tried to stand but I fell. I was badly sunburnt all over from baking without cover and being too unaware to feel it. Besides me on the bench I found a wrapped sandwich. I wondered if you put it there. I survived, unbelievably. For days afterwards I couldn't walk right. I couldn't think right. I couldn't see right. The headache lasted for a week. I don't know what kind of damage may have been done, but to this day after that incident I can no longer drink alcohol without getting shakes and a migraine. That was 5 years ago this month. I want to apologize for lying to you. My intent was not outright deception, but also, I want you to know that I will be forever grateful for your attempt. I wanted your help, but the demons in my head who want me dead wouldn't let me accept it. I still think about you, especially around this time of year. What a beautiful person you must be to stop and help someone like myself. A worthless, damaged, vindictive, sick, tattooed, toxic failure. I wish you all the best in life. It is my hope that I didn't cause you worry. Thank you. Although we will never cross paths again in this lifetime, I won't ever forget you. Edit. Since this has gotten so many wonderful comments and interest in my experience, I thought this might help you visualize the scene. I went to Google Maps Street View to screenshot it. Marked here is the actual bench where this took place. https://imga.com/i8vztzl. Thank you all for such supportive comments. It really lifted my spirits. I am going to sleep now, but will answer additional comments tomorrow night. Thank you. Next. I eat my son's food allergens every chance I get. My 3-year-old son is highly allergic to eggs and tree nuts. Tree nuts are easy to avoid, but eggs are hidden in a lot of things. To avoid any reactions, we just have a broad rule that his allergens aren't allowed in our house. He is sneaky and gets into a lot of things he shouldn't, so it's easier to keep them out of the house altogether rather than on a high shelf. Because putting an EpiPen into a toddler is no fun, I've learned. I'm a stay-at-home mom. He and his 1-year-old brother are with me literally 24/7 and my only time away from them is on the rare occasion that I have a personal appointment. They'll go to my mom's house, or if my husband is home while I grocery shop. Every chance I get, I binge on his allergens. I go get frozen custard with cashews, or Egg McMuffin sandwiches, or donuts, or Little Debbie's, or chicken strips with ranch, and I'll eat the ever-loving shit out of them in my car. It is so satisfying to eat my favorite things that I usually avoid for his sake and I never ever feel bad about it. Thank you. Next. I let my girlfriend peg me and now I'm addicted. My girlfriend is into really weird shit. She had a strap-on to use on girls but one day she begged me to let her use it on me. I was freaked out but ending up being talked into it. Now she fucks my ass all the time and I love it. She eats my asshole all the time now too. I love taking it up the ass but I'm not attracted to men at all. Thank you. Next. Men get sexually abused too. I've recently seen a lot of things about how men need to understand that women don't feel safe and how men don't understand. From the age of 8 until 12, my older brother sexually abused me. I don't know if it was rape but I don't wanna think it was. Anyway, so that happened which kinda screwed me up. When I was 19, I was at a party and talking to some older people in their 40s about what bisexuality is, which I am by the way, and it turns out one of them drugged my drink. I've been drugged so many times in nightclubs, I've felt super unsafe, I've felt scared. I've only told one person about what happened to me, because I don't want anyone to know.